Okay, so this is a video on extract 19. So where is this in the play? Well, this is the climax of the subplot. What's prepared us for this moment directly before is that Mariah has warned Olivia that Malvolio is behaving strangely, and then Malvolio has entered wearing his yellow stockings in this moment of hilarity, this crescendo of hilarity, cross-gartered, and he's attempted in his own very special way to flirt with Olivia, following the instructions of the letter, which we start to realize in this scene just how cleverly it has been constructed. So in this hugely comic moment, which in the Globe version and in my version was played for the physical comedy, Olivia has said that this is a very Midsummer Madness, that this fellow Malvolio be looked to or looked after, and that some of her people have a very special care of him. And Malvolio has been privy to all of this comment, and what he's done is, in his self-deception and in his sense of self-regard, he has built up to a speech which shows absolutely no sense of Olivia's failure to respond to his advances. In fact, he talks about how now even words such as fellow set him above the rest, that he's not referred to as Malvolio or as even a steward. He's referred to as a fellow, and he interprets this single word to mean that Olivia sees him as an equal. So the whole moment prepares us for Malvolio's total downfall. It also prepares us for the trio arguably taking the joke too far by the end of the play when they have Malvolio locked up. Olivia has suggested that Malvolio is mad based on his very strange behaviour, and this develops in the rest of this extract. So let's take a closer look at the extract. Well, I can just get my camera to move. There we go. Okay, so it starts with Sir Toby's entrance. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this so that I can get the whole thing in. So it starts with Sir Toby's entrance, with Fabian and Mariah, who's gone out to find them. And Malvolio continues in this part to think that he shares an understanding with Olivia that nobody else knows about. And that's important, that Mariah has set that up in the letter. No man must know. So Malvolio cannot even explain himself here. He has to keep it a secret, which makes it all the more funny. So we begin with Sir Toby calling in the name of sanctity. And what he's doing here is using the language of exorcism, and hoping that Legion, another sort of misquoted name for the devil here, be exorcised from Malvolio's body and mind. And Fabian joins in, and Fabian does that thing where he kind of patronizes Malvolio and wants to take it very gently. How is it? Is it okay? How are you, man? And he takes it all very gently with Malvolio. Malvolio says that he discards Fabian, and there's this kind of sense that he's in a position to sort of fire Fabian in a way, as if he's in a much higher role. And then Mariah joins in. Lo, how hollow the fiend speaks with him. And she says, hey, Sir Toby, my lady prays you have a care of him. And Malvolio picks up on that and says, aha, does she so? And he's really smug here. And it's Mariah's role here to play to Malvolio's delusion, to play on his delusion, and remind him in whatever way that she can that Olivia cares about him. And of course, he takes that any way he wants to take it. So Toby picks up on Fabian's idea that he be treated gently, and comes right out and says that he must be possessed by the devil. Malvolio says, do you know what you say? As in, do you know who you're talking to? Could be taken that way. Or, you're so drunk most of the time, would you even know what you were saying? And Mariah takes it a step further. So Olivia's already intimated that he's mad, of course, through his behaviour. And playing on that, Toby has intimated that he's possessed by the devil. And now Mariah is suggesting that he's bewitched. And they constantly talk about him as if he's not there, as if he can't hear them, or as if he can't understand them. And Fabian says to carry his water to the wise woman like a urine sample so that he can be tested for being bewitched. Mariah picks up on this, of course. She's suggesting that in the morning she'll pick up his chamber pot and take it straight away. It's just these kind of building of reasons of why Malvolio is behaving the way he is. And of course, just a reminder, he can't say anything because that would be betraying Olivia in his mind, what he believes. And then we get this "how now, mistress," where Malvolio addresses Mariah or challenges Mariah. And either, if you think about how it would be played on stage, her reaction, "Oh Lord," is one of, it's an exclamation. So either this idea that he starts towards her in frustration, or that she pretends that he does in her reaction. Either way, it's winding him up. And then Toby continues, and Fabian's again on his gently pathway. And this idea, this change of tack here, is all about patronizing Malvolio. And using words like borecock, chuck, and biddy are all speaking to him as if he's a child, all terms of endearment to put him, on a level with a child, which is more infuriating to him. And fun for them. I mean, this is the whole thing. It's all about Malvolio getting his comeuppance, but it's also about Sir Toby and Fabian and Mariah having their fun, and turning the tables on Malvolio. And of course, we know that Twelfth Night is a night of festivity and a night of fun, and this is playing into that. And then we get back to the religious imagery about saying his prayers, and back to the idea of exorcism again. And rather when Malvolio challenges "my prayers, minx," Mariah deliberately misinterprets his words to think that he won't pray because he's possessed, not because he doesn't need to. So again, it's winding him up, but it's also taking away his ability to sound reasonable. Even if he wanted to, he can't argue back when people are suggesting that he's mad, and he can't give the actual reason as to his behaviour. And he says that he's not of their element. He continues to set himself above them, continues to set himself as better than them. And he says, "You shall know more hereafter." Well, this is again about his presumed shared understanding with Olivia. He's still convinced that the letter was from her. And then he exits, and we get this, no doubt, hilarious moment on stage where they all laugh at what they've achieved in this. And of course, Fabian's response, "If this were played upon a stage now, I could condemn it as improbable fiction." Well, of course, it is on a stage. This is meta-theatricality. But also this kind of idea of improbable fiction is perhaps a joke at the improbable success of the plan.